Hello, everybody! Welcome to another brand new episode of the Smurfs. And today's adventure is called Every Time the Smurfs Escape from Gargamel's Net. Our story begins with our favorite blue friends coming out of their houses to begin a brand new day in the village. Papa Smurf walks over to his post and reads the morning paper while drinking his mushroom tea. Brainy is busy writing down notes about an upcoming book he wants to write. And Clumsy is trying to water the flowers, but ends up just making a huge mess. As the other Smurfs start their daily routines, Hefty comes running over all excited. "Hey guys, look what I found," he says, holding up a beautiful red apple. "Ooh, that looks delicious," says some random female Smurf. "Well, don't just stand there. Why don't you go and pick some more?" Hefty replies. So the female Smurf runs off into the forest to gather some more apples. Meanwhile, back at the house, Brainy has discovered something very interesting. "Look at this," he says, pointing at his calendar. "It's Saturday, which means it's cleaning day." The other Smurfs gasp in horror. They absolutely despise doing chores, but what are they gonna do? It's no use arguing with Brainy. He'll make sure everything is done if it's the last thing he does. And so the Smurfs get to work picking up sticks, rocks, and other junk that's been scattered around the village. Back in his house, Papa Smurf is reading the morning paper when he hears a loud crash outside. Startled, he drops his tea and rushes to the door to see what happened. To his horror, he sees that the treehouse is completely destroyed and all the Smurfs are gone. "Oh my," he says, panicking. "Where could they have possibly gone?" Just then, Handy stumbles out of the forest carrying a large net. "Oh, there you are, Handy," says Papa Smurf in relief. "What happened to the others?" "Oh, this," says Handy sheepishly, motioning to the net. "I thought we should spruce up the treehouse, so I went into the forest to get some materials, but when I came back, I saw that the whole thing was destroyed. And when I looked inside the net, I saw this." Handy opens the net to reveal a bunch of Smurf berries. Meanwhile, we see the rest of the Smurfs hiding out in the forest. They're all pretty scared, but Clumsy is especially terrified. I think Carcamel must have gotten us," he stammers. I'm so sorry." "Don't blame yourself, Clumsy," says Smurfette, putting a hand on his shoulder. "It wasn't your fault. We all had a part in destroying the treehouse." Suddenly, Brainy pops out from behind a bush. "Guys, I found the perfect place for us to hide," he says excitedly. "Follow me." He leads them to a cave hidden behind a waterfall. "This place is huge," says Hefty. "I bet Carcamel would never even dream of looking here." "Well, then let's set up camp," says Papa Smurf. "We can stay here until Handy fixes up the treehouse." Inside the cave, Brainy continues to be excited about their new surroundings. "Think of all the knowledge we could learn in here," he says. "All the ancient artifacts we could find and study." Before anyone else can say anything, though, Brainy is already rushing off to explore deeper into the cave. The rest of the Smurfs shake their heads and smile at how enthusiastic he can be sometimes. After everyone settles in, Papa Smurf tells Handy to come over to the cave and join them. He needs to tell him something important. "Handy, my boy, I want to thank you for being such a quick learner," he says. "You've really become quite the handyman since you came to live with us." "Thanks, Papa Smurf," says Handy with a big smile. The next morning, Papa Smurf wakes up first and decides to take a walk outside the cave. The fresh air will wake the others up faster. As he steps outside, he notices that the waterfall is gone. "Huh," he says, confused. "That's strange. I could have sworn it was there yesterday." Just then, Brainy pops out from behind a rock. "There you are, Papa Smurf," he says. "I was looking all over for you." "What are you doing here, Brainy?" Papa Smurf asks. "Why aren't you still sleeping?" "Oh, I couldn't sleep," says Brainy. "I was thinking about how we are going to get food now that our farm is destroyed." "Well, I have an idea," says Papa Smurf. "Why don't you go back to the village and see if anything has changed? Maybe Carcamel isn't looking for us anymore." "Okay," says Brainy, and with that he turns and heads in the opposite direction. Brainy makes it back to the village and sees that Handy is fixing up the treehouse with some help from Smurfette. "Oh, great," he says. "Now we won't have anywhere to hide if Gargamel shows up." Just then, Papa Smurf comes walking by and sees that the treehouse is almost fixed. "Well, that's good news," he says. "But where are the others?" "They're still asleep," says Handy. "Oh, okay," says Papa Smurf. "Well, let's go wake them up." Meanwhile, deep inside the cave, Clumsy, Hefty, and the others are having a nightmare about Gargamel chasing them through the woods. They wake up screaming and look around frantically. "Gargamel, where are you?" they cry. Suddenly, Hefty notices something strange. "Guys, look," he says, pointing to the entrance. "The waterfall is gone." "Oh no," says Smurfette. "What if Gargamel found us?" Before anyone else can say anything, though, Papa Smurf and Handy pop out from behind the rock. "Gotcha!" they shout, startling the others. "You scared me," says Clumsy, wiping sweat off his forehead. "I thought you were Gargamel." "We're not going to hurt you," says Papa Smurf. "We just came to get you and take you back home." The Smurfs cheer and run to hug Papa Smurf. Suddenly, Brainy pops out from behind a bush. "Guys, I have some very bad news," he says. "Gargamel is coming." Sure enough, Gargamel appears and starts running towards the Smurfs. The Smurfs run away, but where are they gonna go? They can't go home. Gargamel will find them there. And besides, they need to fix up their treehouse first. Then they remember the cave. Maybe they can hide out there again, but when they get to the waterfall, they see that Gargamel is already standing on the other side. He used his magic to move it earlier so he could find the Smurfs. There's only one way left for them to escape. They need to go under the cave and through a secret passageway that leads to the surface. When Gargamel searches the cave, he doesn't find anything, so he gives up and leaves. The Smurfs run to the surface and see that Gargamel is flying away on his broomstick. "We made it," they say in unison. Then they all look around to see where they are. They're deep inside the forest, far away from their homes. "Oh, well," says Papa Smurf, "looks like we're gonna need to build a new treehouse." And so the Smurfs set off to find a new tree to call home. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, be sure to smash that like button and share with a friend. Until next time, stay Smurfy.